What would John Wesley make of this? Hi, welcome to the channel. My name is Rev Dan. I'm a vicar in the Church of England. On this channel, you'll get all the latest Christian news with this vicar's views. So the Methodist Church have put out this inclusive language guide. But by the way, when you try to make it inclusive language guide, you're always going to exclude somebody. But I've gone through it so you don't have to. And what a read it is. Let's get into it. So the document is 11 pages long, 10 pages of guidance and 1 page of references and resources. And wait till the end because you will not believe one of the people they've used for their resources. So the guidance starts off with what is inclusive language, and they say speaking, worshipping and writing in an inclusive way is about engaging positively with as many people as possible. At times we might find that people feel excluded or harmed by something we say. Not because we have any bad intentions, but simply because our turn of phrase was automatic or unconscious. You've got to be aware whenever you're speaking to somebody that you might be offending them. But we will offend people because we are taught that the gospel is offensive to people. We cannot affirm people in who they are. The gospel is about changing lives, about people repenting of the life that they're living and changing their ways. Not to say it's okay to come to Christ as you are and not expect to be changed. We have to say it's okay for you to come to Christ as you are, but you expect to be changed because that's what we have received. That's what's in the Bible. The gospel is life-changing. So the guidance goes on to say we are all certain to make mistakes at some point if we are brave enough to have honest conversations. Well, the honest conversations that we truly need to have with people to really help them is to be honest about what they are believing, whether that's they don't believe in God or they do believe in God. They believe that there's a zillion gender identities or whatever it might be. The honest conversation is the conversation of the gospel, and these are the teachings that God has given us, and this is how we now live our lives as Christians. They also go on to say some groups have been marginalized and or demonized by culture, and that is right, they have. But today most of those minority groups have got a good platform. Actually, things have changed for them, and they got so many rights in the world now that those groups are actually majority. I wouldn't say they're not majority in people, but majority in sympathy. And then people like maybe perhaps conservative Orthodox Christians are now in the minority, and we are marginalized in culture. Who is now? That's the big question. Who is marginalized in today's culture? Human relationships come in varied expressions. There is infinite variety in the way God's creation is expressed in human life. This is worth bearing in mind as we speak and write. Terminology such as husband and wife may sound inoffensive, but it makes assumptions about a family or personal life that is not the reality for many people. The word parent, partner and child are good places to start. Carer is also a neutral yet understandable way to refer to the primary carer of a child who may or may not be their parent. Let's start off with that, husband and wife. If you see this, if someone sees this, they know that I am married, that I have a wife, or as the Methodist probably would say, I have a partner. It makes it confusing. You say partner, I'm like, what do you mean by partner? Are they married? Or what is it? A husband and wife says what it is, and that's what marriage is between a husband and wife as set out in the Bible. To say we're not going to call people husband and wife anymore, or say that even in wedding ceremonies, because we might offend people who are in the congregation because they're in a same-sex relationship or something, that is absolutely absurd. Husband and wife, biblical words in the Bible, given to us in marriage. We've been saying them for centuries in wedding ceremonies. We say it every day in the world in many situations. How's your wife? How's your husband? You know, what's your husband doing today? Or did your wife do well at that job interview the other day? It's a descriptive term to the person who they are married to, and it shows that these two people are in holy matrimony or marriage if they're not married in church. And so to say that you are now going to offend someone by saying that is what are you just doing? You're destroying the roots of Christian marriage. You're destroying the roots of the English language as well. And then to go on and say, don't say parent a partner or child, a good place is to start. Carer is a neutral. You know, when I do services and I get a lot of people come in, especially like at Christmas, I will say parents, grandparents and carers, because some children do have carers. That's a reality. I'm not just going to say welcome carers. I'm a parent. One day, hopefully, I will be a grandparent, and that's a proud title that I will have. To take it away and start calling me a carer, am I the child's father? Am I really their father, or am I just their carer? Who are you? It's destroying innately who we are and how God created us in family and in marriage. And then we go on to the part of the document which really just show this is critical race theory, and this is where the ideology is coming from, because they say language can uphold systems of white supremacy or encourage breaking it down or question it. White supremacy, this is stuff that's come over from America, and it's infiltrated not only our society, but now it's infiltrating our churches. White supremacy is critical race theory, and it's got no place in the church, let alone in the society. So not only is it based on critical race theory and a Marxist ideology, which we know, and it is quite inherent in there, but it is now in there by putting those two words, white supremacy. They go on to say, sharing your own pronouns helps to create a safe place for people to be themselves. Why should I share my pronouns? You can tell who I am. You can tell what gender I am. There's only two genders, male and female. We do not start to share pronouns. Goes on to say, therefore, using a person's chosen pronouns is helpful as it honors their identity and humanity. And they got a couple examples. Sie, here, or cos. Was it cos? I have no idea. I wouldn't use them anyway. But we don't honor their identity and humanity when they are choosing a different identity from the one that they are born with. If they're male, they're male. If they're female, they're female. We cannot play into this ideology. Their identity should be that they are a child of God, that their identity is in Christ, not what they choose to be. So why and how and why should the Methodist Church be directing their church members and their ministers to start sharing their pronouns, but also to say, by doing this, you're going to, and using their pronouns, you're going to honor their identity and humanity. We honor people because they're made in the image of God. But that's why we interact and we love people, because they're made in the image of God. But we cannot and should not ever not go into this ideology and affirm people. They go on to say, as we're taking a service or a general audience, as they say, language such as brothers and sisters, while intended to be inclusive and friendly, doesn't take into account our non-binary friends. You might consider using siblings, friends, or children of God. Instead, similarly, using he or she could be exclusive. They is also accurate and acceptable. Could you imagine taking a service and always, not that I would do this, but thinking, oh no, I got to say they, oh I got to say siblings. No, I always say brothers and sisters. I say it a lot, brothers and sisters in Christ. I'm not going to say siblings. Children of God, yes, I would say. Friends, I would say. Siblings is not really a word that I've really heard in the Christian church. And using he and she, again, that's because that's what they are. And this is where the Methodist Church is wrong, because they're saying and affirming again, using the language that individuals use for themselves shows that we care as a church and that we affirm them as a child of God. We cannot affirm them and show them that we care by telling them that what they're going through or what they think is absolutely right. That isn't loving. What is loving is helping people find their identity in Christ. So in the references, and this is shocking. This is absolutely shocking, because this man is sick. He puts videos out trying to lure children away from their parents and to him, getting them, telling them to contact him, to have no contact with their parents. This man is dangerous, and they've used him as a reference. They've watched this video. It's awful.
I want to talk to the kids. Hey kids. Hi kids. Hey kids. Hi. It's good for children to see LGBTQ lives. Your parents screwed up. If you need a family, you can come hang out with me.
The world is coming in to the church. Pray that we stand strong. Pray that we preach the gospel. And pray that Jesus may come soon.